This heron is something of an oddball in the family Ardeidae. That's herons, egrets, and bitterns. But before I explain why I say that, let me circle around and work my way back to it. First, I want to talk about its name, Yellow-crowned Night Heron. What a mouthful, and not even all that accurate at that. Oh, the night part of its name is fine. Yeah, the bird does sometimes hunt in the daytime, but it is most active in the 3 hours around dusk or dawn. And its night hunting is part of the reason I call it an oddball. In fact, it has a larger eye proportionally than other herons. That and the eye's orange color, reddish in the case of the other night heron, help it gather more light in low light conditions. So my quarrel isn't with night, but with yellow-crowned. I mean, what yellow-crown? I have seen pictures where individuals have a pale yellow crown, but mostly the crowns are white. This bird is as ill-named as its cousin the green heron. Like what green? Oh, yeah, it's that glint you sometimes get a glimpse of in just the right light. Should have been called the maroon-necked heron, don't you think? But several possible names present themselves with this one. Stripe-headed heron or white-cheeked heron. Maybe gray-ruffed heron. How about a term for that lush gray and white jungle on its back? Dark gray feathers edged in white merge into undergrowth of white cross-hatching. But I can't think of a term that captures that plumage. So I'll move on to what I think would be a good name, the thick-billed heron. After all, the other herons, egrets, and bitterns have longer, thinner bills, useful for grabbing or piercing flitting fish and then flipping the prey around so that its head will go down first. True, the black-crowned night heron has a shorter bill like that of the yellow-crowned, but it's nowhere near as thick as this fella's. The yellow-crowned has a bill thick enough and powerful enough to crush a crayfish, or crabs if he's near salt water. Not so wonderful for dealing with fish. Oh, to be sure, the yellow-crowned is a heron, so it will sometimes catch fish, when its favored foods, crustaceans, are scarce. But fish are a lot more trouble for him to eat. This one's thinking, head first, huh? That thick bill lacks the sharp tips for holding a squirmy fish, or the length to jolly the fish around in. He's patient, though. He knows that the fish's sleek head will slide down his throat, just as soon as he manages to thread the needle precisely. So anyway, I vote for thick-billed heron. Not that anyone's going to change its name because of what I think, but a name like thick-billed would hint at the trait that sets this heron apart from the others, its unusual preference for crustaceans. It even has more stomach acid than other herons for dissolving the shells of crayfish and crabs. And the bird's love of crabs and crayfish causes it to hunt differently from its cousins. Herons are stealthy hunters, well, except for the drunken butterfly antics of the reddish egret. The others in the clan are deliberate, sure, but they do move around more than this guy does, because fish move around more than crustaceans do. The yellow-crowned spends 80% of its foraging time stationary, standing still, walking a few steps, and standing still again, waiting for crustaceans to emerge from burrows or come within striking distance. Only the American bittern is even more patient and secretive. The yellow-crowned is a loner. You won't find it congregating the way other herons sometimes do. So what if snowy egrets will tolerate each other? The yellow-crowned is likely to attack another of its own kind if the newcomer strays within 5 or 6 yards of it. Anyway, I felt lucky to find one hunting in the daytime one July day, and I wondered why its throat quivered like that. Oh, but I've gotten ahead of myself. That info belongs in the next movie in this 2-part series, the one that describes the ways that a yellow-crowned night heron is, like other members of the heron family Ardeidae.